Here in the U.S., a critical hearing is underway right now in a Florida courtroom in the classified documents case against former President Donald Trump. The key issue today is the trial date. Right now, it's scheduled to start on May 20th. Special counsel Jack Smith's team is now proposing a July start date, while the former president's lawyers are suggesting August. NBC News national correspondent Yasmin Vossoughian is at that courthouse in Fort Pierce, Florida for us. So, Yasmin, what exactly is going on here with the trial date requests?
So you mentioned, Zinkley, the dates, right? July 7th and then August as well. August has kind of now gone out the window. The prosecution, the government has remained with July 7th, making the arguments that this trial needs to happen before the election, that enough time has passed. It's time for this trial to move forward. Trump's attorneys instead essentially are making the argument that he is within the primary calendar right now, right? He's running for re-election as president of the United States. He's also going to be tied up with the hush money trial up in New York starting March 25th for 6 weeks, in which he's going to have to appear every single day inside that courtroom, and making the argument that this trial should not take place until after even the election, wanting to push this all the way until after the election. They're also wanting an evidentiary hearing to happen, talking about the way in which this evidence was obtained. The government pushing back and say this evidence was obtained completely legally. And so most of the arguments that have been happening so far this morning have been about that when it comes to this trial date. So right now we're looking at definitely not a May 20th, it seems. And that's what we had thought going into today. But how much it gets pushed is really the question at this point.
Yeah, Yasmin. So to that end, you walked through some of the arguments we were hearing in court today. But when do we expect the judge to make her decision about the trial date here?
So I just want to talk about it quickly, some of the interesting arguments that were made in court today. One about something that could feasibly become a hearing, and our own Kendall Laney has been inside all day and talked about this idea of how at one point the defense's lawyers, Todd Blanche, Donald Trump's attorney, said and alleged that the FBI was involved with the prosecution team. And the government's attorney stood up and said, yes, I mean, we worked together in collaboration with the FBI. They were the ones who obtained these documents initially. And so we have been forthcoming about that. However, they've gone one step further to say that they feel as if other intelligence agencies are involved with the prosecution's team, in which the government balked at. But this was something, interestingly, that seems Eileen Cannon was not necessarily against possibly putting a hearing on the schedule on. This could be something that could delay things, possibly. That's one delay tactic. Another is Donald Trump's attorneys talking about this kind of 60-day rule in which you can't necessarily put anything in front of someone who is seeking re-election or election as president of the United States. However, the government pushed back and said, no, we're not indicting him 60 days essentially before the election. This is a trial. If this was an indictment, according to the DOJ's rules, that would be different. And so those are some of the arguments that we've been hearing as to whether or not we're going to get a decision today on a trial date. It's all up in the air. It could come down today.
Okay, well, we know you'll stay on it outside that courthouse for us. Yasmin Vossoughian, thank you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.